Hi, love, it's Nevo, and I'm going to be doing a kind of speed build portion to my mod review simply because I think I saw a video by Antisocial Bunny and I thought it was really, really cool how there was a speed build portion of the mod she was trying out. What was it? I think it was she was setting up an adoption center for dogs or something like that, and there was a speed build of the house that the old lady was going to be staying at, and I thought that's really, really cool. So totally nabbed that idea by Bunny. Right now, I'm going to be building a house for one of my Sims in my Build a City challenge, Mirza. Now, Mirza, to put it lightly, enjoys the company of women, and to put it less lightly, he's a cheater and a scoundrel. He's like Don Lothario, but like worse. And somehow, I think with Mirza, he is just so childish and rebellious, and he doesn't want to be kept down by one woman. He wants to be a free man and do whatever he wants. His whole thing is that he was a prince, like hence the name Mirza. He was a prince in like some other town, and he just didn't want to do that. He just didn't want to be royalty. He wanted to just sleep around and not have someone tell him that he needs to think about the family name. So he just ran away from home and is just sleeping with women and enjoying their company. I think for him, he doesn't really enjoy, or he doesn't really care for all the money and stuff like that. That's not really like his thing. All he cares about is having fun, having a good time. He's a pleasure primary aspiration and romance secondary aspiration. So he's a very unserious person. He does not want to be tied down whatsoever. But yeah, the reason I'm building him a house again, because I have built him a house before, but I'm building him a house again simply because when I was looking at his old house, it just didn't suit him. I don't know how to explain it. Because he's a carpenter, he makes woods and not makes wood, but he cuts down trees and he makes stuff out of wood and stuff. But his house didn't really give me that vibe. And not only that, but his house was way too big. It was just massive, and it's only him. Even though technically, yes, Mirza has 4 children, he doesn't speak to any of them, so that like doesn't matter. He has 4 kids, but he doesn't live with them, and he kind of gave his kids away to the orphanage because he just didn't want to deal with them. So Mirza technically is a father, but he's a deadbeat father. And the woman who has most of his kids, I think she has 3 of his kids. She had triplets. She doesn't care either. She abandoned him, abandoned the kids, and Mirza abandoned the kids. So I wasn't thinking about, oh, maybe I need room for expansions because this man, he is not fit to be a dad whatsoever. So just made him like a cute little studio apartment, studio flat kind of thing. It's just a bed, kitchen, with a small bathroom for him. I think later on during the round I did adopt a dog for him, so there's going to be space for a dog as well when I'm playing. Yeah, just a small teeny tiny little area with this elevated roof portion. I was watching a speed build by, who was it by? Extra Yogurt, and she had this elevated, like this roof portion, like a vaulted ceiling, that's what it's called. She had a vaulted ceiling, and I thought that was really cool, so I wanted to include that as well. Also to make the roof just look a bit cooler, because the roof was kind of looking a bit bland. I wanted to change up the roof line just a bit. So I'm just doing the kitchen here with these grates and fireplaces and whatever the fuck these are. I was really struggling with a counter. Even now, I'm not really sure I like the kitchen all too much. I might change it, but it functions, it works. I do think he needs some cabinets up at the top, because where's he going to store all his plates and pots and pans and stuff? These counters don't really look like storage counters whatsoever. Onto his bed. Give him a simple bed. His bed doesn't change. I think I cycled through 5 beds and I didn't like any of them, but I did settle on this one. So I gave him like a nice fur blanket. I think the feng shui here is a kind of bad. If you think about it, your bed and you being able to see your front door, that would keep me on guard. So I moved the bed to kind of face away from the front door so you can ignore that. I follow this guy on TikTok who does a lot of TikToks on like feng shui and how to maximize your space and maximize your comfort in your home. So whenever I'm furnishing, I try and think about that. I'm not really the best at furnishing. I feel like for me, I'm better at exterior than interior. I'm trying to get better at it. So I need to be more conscious and cognizant of what I'm doing when I'm furnishing. It's just something to keep a note. But yeah, this is just a really short speed build, and I think after this, I'm gonna hop onto the mod review portion. Initially, I wanted this video to be a bit more of a laid back guide where you watch me just figure things out, but I'd hate to confuse you. So on screen, I'll have these little speech bubbles indicating like which mods is being used because they tend to overlap a lot. The mods I'm going to be going over today are quite confusing when you use them for the first time around. So like here's a take 2. Hi love, it's Nervo, and today I'm going to be going over some mods from one of my favorite mods in the Sims 2 community, Sun and Moon. The main mods are the Giving Tree, Wooden Wonders, Mining 3.0, and Forging On. I've linked the mods down below with another link to donate to Sun and Moon because the stuff they're doing is great. Here's my gorgeous Sim Mirza. He's part of my Build a City challenge you can read on my Tumblr, and he'll be making some wares to sell in the shop for us today. So before we get onto the woodworking, we need some wood to work on. In the Sun and Moon set, the Given Tree, you can actually cut them down. Now, trees slowly grow throughout the seasons when planted. I won't show that in this video because it takes, I think, about 18 sim days, and like, no offense to use, but I'm not doing all that. So just know that once the tree is planted though, that you don't need to do any kind of maintenance, so you don't need to tend it or water or anything like that. As you can see, the sack's going to be there, but then once he's actually planted it, it's gonna go away. Let's plant this tree as well. Yeah, and you're just gonna water it. In spring, your tree will produce birds' nests with eggs. In summer, your tree will produce saplings. In autumn, it'll produce a bag of nuts. In winter, you'll get a bottle of tree sap, but like regardless of the season, you'll always get branches. Alright, boom. So now that I've given you a crash course in tree biology, how do we get logs to process? With the body skill, you can actually cut down trees. Now, if you have less than 3 body skills, all you'll be able to do is harvest all like these goodies that the tree will produce throughout the year. But once you've reached over body level 3, you'll be able to cut the tree down. Obviously, if your body skill is higher, you'll be able to cut them down faster. It takes a while. It takes a long time for you to cut down a tree. This is going to shout like timber. And there we go, the tree's all gone down. Now that you've chopped the tree down, you have to buck the tree into logs, which is just more chopping. So your sim will usually get around 2 to 3 logs depending on the tree size and how skilled your sim is. And then after you cut down a tree, you're just left with the stump, and you can sit on it or you can just remove the stump. I'm just going to remove the stump because I'm going to replant another tree in that place. Yeah, so from the sapling we got, sapling, Japanese maple, and then we can just plant another tree if it'll let me click. You can like change the tree to like spring and summer, autumn, winter, remove the sack, tend to it, compost, all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to plant the tree because I actually want it to grow. Okay, so before we even start processing anything, actually look at what you want your sim to make. I've made the mistake of just bulk processing what I thought I needed and having too much of something I don't actually need at all. But in most Sun and Moon mods, it'll come with a reference tome. These are just little books that your sim can use in-game to see what materials are used for certain recipes. They're super handy and they tend to just be in the collection file of the mod that you're downloading. Now, here are some little workstations. This, you can split the wood, and this, you can cut it into various planks. So for now, I think I'm just going to make some firewood. So you need to go on this little thingy and split wood. I think it produces 1 large stack of split wood. Let's see. Yep, it produces a large stack of split wood, and you're just going to grab all that. And with this large stack of split wood, you need to go to the shed and convert large stack of split wood into bundles of firewood. What that does is make sure that you can actually use it in your little, what are they called? 20 bundles of firewood. That's crazy. Stacks of split wood can go into these grates to actually be lit on fire. So if you're playing a historical game like I am and your Sims get cold, you can just light a little campfire or grate or whatever to warm them up, because they don't have the wonders of plumbing like we do. Let's look at these reference terms now. Obviously pink flashing has got me. Utility compost bin. You know what? I might sell compost bins. He does have a little shop and I've been trying to figure out what he should sell. I'm thinking utility stuff and utility and houseware. I think he should like sell stuff like that. So for now, we're just going to have him look up the compost bin and see how we can do that. That'll raise his, I think it's mechanical skill. 1 box of nails, 1 set of short planks, 1 set of square beams. Planks and beams. Do I have planks and beams? Short planks. What the fuck else was it? So short planks was something else. Short planks, square beams. I don't think I have square beams. No, I have rounded, but I don't have square. Okay, well, for the other log, let's use the log splitting stand. Yeah, squared beams. And he's just gonna put away his little squared beams, and it's gonna take a while, obviously. It's gonna drain his energy, but after he's done that, he'll have his little squared beams. Pink flashing going crazy. Pink flashing going absolutely crazy. I think he's done, right? Oh, no, he's going to the other side now. And I think just from 1 log, you only get 1 set of short planks. Or squared, whatever I was making. Squared beams have been added to your inventory. You can see how like low his needs have gotten from doing all of that. And with this little woodworking table, what was it? There we go, compost bin. He's just gonna whack his little tool. We need to add some lights in here. There we go. A furniture item has been added to your inventory. There we go. This little compost bin. Now these are just like have a lot of recolors. And you can just go through them, make it look however you want. To make a bunch of stuff, you'll need iron. And then I'm gonna have him mine for some iron, because that's the only metal required to make all the little components. He's mined 3 buckets and he didn't find anything extra. Yeah, in that mod, you have the chance of finding extra stuff. So I think I've like found gold and like extra salt deposits. It's quite cool. Yeah, so if I'm gonna make a bank per se, I need a box of nails, a set of short plants, and metal findings. I don't have any metal findings, so I'm gonna have to like make that. So with the iron that I've just mined, and then need to go in here and smelt the ore. Just gonna add that in. Before, I tried using charcoal to smelt the iron, but it didn't work. So I went on the Sun and Moon Tumblr and found this ask right here. So Anonymous asked, "Hi, it's me again. I asked previously about the smelters not working, but I stupidly didn't realize that coal and charcoal are not the same. They work fine now, but I'm just curious then, what is charcoal for?" Then they reply, "The main differences between coal and charcoal as I have defined them is this. Coal is a mineral that is mined and is only used for fuel. Charcoal is made of wood and acts as a carbon factor needed to mix with iron to produce steel." So, you know, don't be like me who made buckets and buckets of charcoal thinking, why isn't this iron smelting? It's because it hasn't been made to smelt the iron. Only coal smelts iron. So just be careful of that. That literally took forever, but I'm just going to collect these iron ingots. Takes a while to make the iron ingots. Got iron. Stack of iron ingots has been added into your inventory. Now I'm gonna look up how to make, I think it was findings, metal findings. I think it's in basic components, I'm gonna guess. All basic components did from 1 iron ingot. So I have this stack of iron. Now a stack of iron and 1 iron ingot are like 2 completely separate things. Yeah, so you can like split this ingot stack. And even if you have 5 of these iron ingots, it doesn't matter. It won't equal an iron ingot stack for whatever reason. So here is where we need the metal smithing. So here's our little like forge, and we need to make a component which is these metal findings. So he's just gonna, you know, whack his little iron ingot. Metal finding has been added to your inventory, and now with that we can make our, what the hell was I making? I was making a bank. Let's make a small wooden chest. Houseware has been added, and look, our little chest. And this is functional, so go into the bank, open whatever, deposit, and you can deposit money into it, so your Sims can have little bank accounts. So yeah, hopefully that's everything. I'm defo a visual person, so I want to make these videos to help explain these mods in a bit more depth and just show exactly where to put things, where and how to function, I guess. I don't know. And also to introduce these mods to a different audience altogether. I know you lot follow me for my more modern gameplay, like my strange channel and all that, but it's been really fun just playing in this historical kind of Victorian save. So hopefully you enjoy. Anyway, links to all the mods and all that kind of fun stuff in the description. Also links to follow me if you've enjoyed the video so far. I mean, you're here, right? So I'm gonna assume that you did enjoy it. I think on the screen now is gonna be some stuff you might enjoy, and as always, ta-ra for now.